Charlie, congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Aaron.
You're still in the building. Did you ever go home this summer?
No, I don't plan on it. I want to stay here for as long as I can.
Tell me the decision that went into this. We've talked. Your hockey goal here is to win a Stanley Cup. Uh, your decision to sign with Columbus long term without testing the market. It's a curious one for many. What's going through your mind when you make this decision?
Well, there's a lot that goes into it. I, of course, want to win. And I've been here for a year. I've seen what we have. I've seen our potential. And I'm excited for it. And it's something I want to be here for and work towards. And the team we have, the depth we have, um, it's something that excites me and something that I want to be a part of going forward and something that we can build because it's there. I know it's there. We come up short last year, this past year. Yeah, of course. Everyone knows that it's there. But we've made strides, and I know we're going to continue to do that. And I've grown to love these guys and love Columbus. And it's a great place for my family and start to raise my kids as they move on and start school and all that stuff. We love living here. I love playing here. Um, Having Rick Bonus back, that adds to it too. Didn't know much about him before this year, had him for a half a year, and I love what he brought. Loved his energy, and I love what he's done in just a half year he was here with limited opportunity to fully do what he does. So I'm pretty pumped to see what a full year of Bones will do for us, and I want to keep playing for a guy like that. But yeah, the underlying thing is this is a place that we can win, and I see that potential, and I didn't want to leave that.
Okay, we'll go to Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Brian.
Have you heard from Nick Foligno yet?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. He just the text is gonna come in. I know it's gonna say "I told you so," and that's it.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. And I'm wondering, this being the first time that you missed the playoffs, I know it was painful. Does that add to the motivation though, in a weird way, to stick here and change that outcome going forward?
Yeah, it's actually a good point. It does. Um, yeah, I want to win. I want to win wherever I go. Who doesn't? When things don't work out, yeah, part of me doesn't want to go jump ship and go somewhere else. I want to do it here, and I want to right the ship and get it where we can get it. And again, I know the potential. I've seen it. I know what we have in here, and I want to work at that. I want to work through it and look forward and seeing where we can get to because I know where we can. It's in this locker room, and I know we have some decisions to make, and there's going to be other pieces that are going to be coming in to help us too. But it's there, and yeah, to answer your question, it's that's something that I want to keep working at um, because it didn't go our way this year. So I want to be here and be able to right the ship.
Okay, we'll go to Mark Scheig. Go ahead, Mark.
Thanks, Glenn. Hi, Charlie. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Um, so you coming off a year where it's the second best point total in your career. Like we're just your overall game seems like it's in a good place. What do you attribute that to at this point in your career?
It's a good question. I don't think it's one thing. There's a lot that goes into it. Um, a lot to my teammates and my line mates. Uh, the lines were sporadic at some points this season, as they usually are, wherever you are, but played a good chunk of time with Cole Sillinger, Matthew Olivier, and I love playing with them. I thought we were very, very effective. And, our first year playing together, I didn't know much about those guys. Played against them a little bit, but um, I really enjoyed playing with them. And I think they brought out a lot in my game, just their nature and how they are. We're all a little different in our ways, but I think we just meshed very well. And I think that helped my game personally. as well as theirs too. I think having Bones back there giving me a lot of opportunity. I felt very valued this year. I felt that I was very, very important to this team, playing in every situation, no matter what happens. If there's penalties, penalty kill, power play, um, playing some good minutes too. That's what every hockey player wants. You want to be relied upon and play. And I felt very valued, which I think helped my game elevate that a little more too. Um, and I try to take care of myself again, as we all do. I take pride in taking care of my body. Um, haven't missed a game in I don't know how many years, and I don't plan on straying from that. So I want to play this game as long as I can and still play at a high level. And I know I'm capable, and I'm looking forward to do that.
I got one more for you, Charlie. Just now that you've had time to kind of reflect on the way the end of the season worked, what do you feel was maybe the biggest issue that led to the end of the season, and how do you feel that you can specifically help kind of bridge that gap?
It's another good question. Um, it's tough to pinpoint one big thing. I don't think it's ever a big thing, at least in my mind. Um, there's so many different variables and things, and but I think I think with our, we have a younger crew on one hand, we had some good older veterans too, kind of bridging that gap between everyone, meshing together a little better. Um, I know Bones talked about culture and all that, but it's never as bad as it seems. And when you talk about good culture, it's never as good as it seems. So we're somewhere in the middle there, but that's something you can always work on. And I think um, trying to build on that leadership, that culture. Um, our younger guys getting a year older, having more experience playing, and just learning how to play playoff hockey. I think I guess that would be my biggest takeaway now that I'm saying it to you right now is, you watch the playoffs now and how just the atmosphere, how you have to play the game, little mistakes, little turnovers, it's in the back of your net, and you're down in the series. So everything's kind of magnified in that way. But just playing the right way more consistently, letting your game work for you. When we did that, we were one of, if not the best team in the league for a stretch. And it wasn't just a couple of games. It wasn't a fluke. It was we saw the results for a month or two, and we kind of strayed away. And I don't know if it was a pressure thing. I don't know if it's hard to pinpoint, but it's something that's very correctable and getting everyone to play the right way. Um, and I say playing playoff hockey because down the stretch, it basically is playoff hockey with everyone trying to get as many points as they can in a short amount of time, and it's crunch time, and that's the way the playoffs are played. We could have done a much better job of that in realizing that and playing in that fashion. So I know Bones is very adamant about working on that, and again, it's something that's very correctable, and I'm looking forward to that potential and what we can do with it.
Okay. We'll go to Jeff Swoboda. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Charlie, congratulations. You maybe kind of answered this a little bit with that last question, but you've said a couple times here you believe that you can win. You believe the ingredients are here. You've been around the league for a long time. You've been on a lot of different teams. What do you see kind of in this group and in what's building here that makes you feel so comfortable that this isn't that far away from where you want it to be?
Well, I think going through these tougher stretches where you just missed playoffs, there's a couple points here and there. It's not like we're way behind and we've had a crappy team and we were out months ago. It was we saw what we have, and how close we've come the last two seasons to being in the playoffs, and that's all you need is to get in. Um, so it's a very, very minor difference between getting in and not, but there's a lot that can help and a lot that we can recognize and work on that matters, and that will put us in that position that we want to be. But I sense it's there. I know it's there. Um, you go ask Bones. I don't think he would just come back just to come back and coach a random team and see what happens. He believes in this team. That's why he came back, and that's why he's coming back for another year. Um, but it's there. Again, our younger guys, we have some really, really good players who are coming on strong, gotten a little taste of the NHL and um, just how tough it is to get into playoffs and the way we need to play all the time. I went through it. We all go through it. Um, so learning from that, and once we do, I mean, I'm excited. It excites me just talking about it and seeing where we can get because everyone knows, and but it's something we're going to work on and continue to do. And I know Bones is again very adamant about that and making sure we're going to be prepared come April and beyond. And we have a full season to do that, prepare, and it's only going to help us. So I'm pumped for it.
Yeah. And just in here listening to you talk, I mean, I can kind of hear the determination in your voice. It seems like I know everyone left Columbus or left the arena because you're still in Columbus, but with that sour taste in your mouth, a little bit of how this ended, how much does that impact this offseason and what you're putting into this to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, it should leave a bitter taste in everyone because that's not what you play this game to win. You play this game to play in April, May, and June. And if you haven't experienced it, you don't fully realize how great it is. And to be able to play like that and to see the fan base and the atmosphere and everything that comes along with it, it's a whole different animal, but it's a great one. Um, so getting to everyone to recognize that and learn more about that and what it kind of takes and entails to get to is something we're going to work on. But um, yeah, I mean, you go into the off season, it's like, hey, we got however many months now. We have a lot of time off where we can start prepping for next year. So I know guys are going home. I've already gone home. Some stuck around wherever they go and already preparing, already working out. Maybe some guys are skating, but doing what we all have to do individually to come back better for the team. And I know personally that's what I'm doing. That's what I've already started to do.
Hey, fellas,
And
brother.
we had a guest appearance from someone popped in. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, so that's what you have to do every time you go home and look in the mirror and have some tough conversations with yourself and know what you got to do to come back better. I know I'm doing that. I know I've been doing that, and there's I know everyone else has too.
Yeah. Thanks, Charlie, and guest.
No names.
We'll go to Michael Ayres. Go ahead, Mike.
Charlie, I think your contract terms after your ELC were 5 years, 6 years, and 6 years. Do you intend to sign another 6-year contract when you're 40?
Um,
I asked that cheekily, but what I mean is this is uh, this is quite a term for a player of your stage of life, I guess you'd put it. Can you reflect on that and how you approach it, how you take that?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never been those ages. I know how it tends to go once you get older. Um, but again, I control what I can control and how I take care of myself, and how I'm going to be able to perform. Sometimes unexpected things come up. You can't tell the future, but I'm going to do everything I can to control what I can control, and that I've been doing for my whole career. Um, it's worked out for a little bit now. As I mentioned, I don't think I've missed a game in the last 4 or 5 years. And again, a little of that is luck, of course, but I try to put my best foot forward and do what I can to be available. And I take great pride in that. I don't like missing games. I don't like sitting out. I love playing the game of hockey, and that's what I continue to do for the next six. So I'll have to talk to you at the end of this 6 year deal. I wasn't thinking about it after my last one either, but here we are. So we'll see after this one. Maybe we'll go seven.
Yeah, the American Yager. Thank you, Charlie.
We'll go back to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, hey, Charlie, as much as anybody can predict the future, much less the rest of the summer, were you able to have discussions with Don and his staff about what their plans are? Do you have any sort of ideas of what they're cooking around, and was that in any way an impulse to want to stay part of it?
Yeah, of course it was. I mean, just limited conversations, but exit meetings, um, and couple here and there. I mean, the contract stuff's mostly my agents and all that, but um, yeah, I wanted to know what was the plan going forward and what they had in mind. And yeah, it's one thing to say something and actually go and do it, right? So you got to play the waiting game a little bit, but I have faith in Don, and the ownership. I came here, I'm staying here, I guess, rather to because I want to win and I'm all in, and that's what he's told me. And again, that excites me. If they weren't on that page, I wouldn't be signing here. And it's as simple as that. But um, before I forget too, I wanted to give Don a shout out for how he's handled everything, um, from when I got here, especially around trade deadline and beyond till now. Um, he didn't have to keep me. He could have traded me at the deadline. Um, he was having talks with my agents around then, and he wanted to know if we had fully ruled out Columbus at the end of the year. And I couldn't give him a concrete answer, but I said, no, we haven't fully ruled out Columbus. I liked what we were building at the time, and I wanted to keep building on that, and I wanted to stick around and make a playoff run with these guys. And the other hand, I had a, a baby girl coming right after the trade deadline, so I didn't want to go anywhere, but I couldn't give Don a concrete answer, and he was a man of his word. He kept me around to help me um, with sticking here and working with my teammates to try to make a playoff run and get in playoffs. So he was loyal to me. So I have a sense of loyalty to him, and a guy who stuck his neck out for me. I want to be there for that, for him, and again keep building on what we've worked on. But Don was just great for me and my family. Um, Everything he's done and how he's handled everything, and I respect that a ton. And that loyalty plays a big part with my decision here too.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Don, for doing this, and congrats on the deal. What
Thank
were
you.
the dynamics of this deal? What was interesting about this deal to you, and how important was it for you to get this done quickly before it got too deep into the summer, too close to July 1st?
If you go back to last year, when we made the trade for Charlie, we said we were looking for a right-hand shot center, and certainly we were happy to make the trade. But then having Charlie all this year, getting to know him as a not only as a player but as a person, we knew that he cares about the team, he cares about winning, he cares about the community. And so when we met at the end of the season and talked to all the players, that Charlie, was very clear that if there's that opportunity and we can work it out, he'd like to stay. So, um, to me, I judged a lot of things too. I've had probably 10 to 12 calls in the last couple weeks about what's our plans with Charlie. We consider trading his rights and that. So, the market's gonna being a free agent, a potential free agent, that the market was gonna be out there looking for him, and we just felt that he's such an intriguing and an important part of our franchise moving forward that that's how we locked up the deal.
Yeah. 40 is a big number in any sport, especially hockey. He'll be 40 at the end of this deal. Is that the cost of doing business in a situation like this, or is this an expression of I don't think he's missed a game in more than 5 years. Just how durable and how reliable he's been.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both, but I think most importantly, what you just said, Aaron, is I think the last 5 years he's played more regular season games than anybody because he actually played an extra game when he got traded to Colorado that year, played 83. So very durable, takes care of himself tremendously, and we all age differently. We see a lot of players that are still going at that age, and there's not a reason, barring something that we can't predict, that Charlie keeps himself in that condition that he'll be able to play through this contract.
Okay, next we'll go to Brian Hedger. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, Don. I'm just wondering how this sets up the rest of your off season, and how does it relate to the rest of the things you have to get done?
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do this year, but as I mentioned, this was an important one because now we can continue to build around it, knowing that we have that right shot center that we know very well. We can continue to build around the edges with it. So we got a lot of work to do this summer, and I'm very confident that in time we'll get the players we need to get signed and move forward and look forward to next season.
It, can you give us a just maybe an update about the rest? You have three other bigger, UFAs that are still out there. You have some RFAs as well. Are you in the process already of talking with them?
No, we will start talking with everybody on the UFA fronts here in the next little bit. It's the RFAs. I've already scheduled some meetings with some of the agents when we go to Buffalo for the combine. So, the time is still on our side, and you know, it's like I said, if players want to be here and we want them here, we'll find a way to find a happy result for everyone.
Okay, next we'll go to Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, Don. Thanks for doing this. I had two questions for you. First off, were you surprised at all that it didn't take more effort to convince Charlie not to go UFA, considering how thin the market was?
They take more effort. I don't know about effort. It's a two-way street, right? The player expresses that he would like to stay here, and we certainly wanted the player to stay here. So when you get in that situation, yeah, maybe there's a little bit more money out there, but maybe it's a place that Charlie didn't want to go to. So, but didn't we want to get to that point? We wanted to get this resolved as quickly as we possibly can. His representation, I take my hats off to, because the communication between us was outstanding and always very positive. And so, from our end, we're excited to be able to get this deal and put it in the bank.
And then you mentioned he played 82 games this year, and he's an incredibly durable player. A lot of guys didn't play 82 this year, and I wanted from your perspective, what was your sort of perspective on the compressed schedule and ultimately the impact that you think it had on your team and other teams around the league?
Well, certainly every team dealt with it throughout the year. It wasn't just us. We played 17 games in March because we had a makeup game there, and it's the most games that a team had to play in a month. But the schedule is what it is. It wasn't unfair because all 32 teams had to deal with it, and you know, was there injuries because of the compressed schedule? I don't know. I haven't seen the total man games lost yet for the year compared to years before. I know it was a grueling schedule. We got in March, we barely could practice because we were playing so many games, and which is pretty typical as you get toward the end of the year. But yeah, the year it was what it is. Now we move on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next we'll go to Mark Scheid. Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you, Glenn. Good morning, Don. Got two questions for you. Just when you look back at the way that the end of the season worked and you evaluated your younger players, like where do you feel like that you need to bridge the gap to get to the next level? But then how does Charlie specifically help you get to that point?
Well, first with Charlie, we know what he brings every night on a regular basis, whether it's killing penalties, power play, face-offs. He does a lot for us. We had some younger players that took big steps, and some other guys that need to have big off seasons, and they recognize that at the end of the year in our meetings. And we'll make sure we stay in touch with them throughout the summer and make sure they do what they need to do. It's a two-way street with those players. They have to put the work in. If they put the work in, they're going to get rewarded. And, you look at guys like Ventilli and Matejchuk that they put all the work in and they get rewarded for it this year. So we expect some of our younger guys to continue to take steps. We forget how young these guys are and how young they were when they came in the league, and it's the best league in the world, and they got to be in the best condition they possibly can to perform at that level.
And Don, too, about everybody has different leadership styles. Like, what specifically about Charlie do you value? Like, what does he bring to your group, just leadership wise?
Well, he's very positive. I'm not in the room when he speaks, but the word is when Charlie speaks, people listen. It's the old, unfortunately, it's the first year of Charlie's pro career that he's missed the playoffs, and I know at the end there it was tough on him and tough. He let it know with the guys that, hey, this isn't good enough. We got to make sure come back prepared to take that next step. So I think his leadership is through his presence being in the room and what he's done in his career on and off the ice.
Okay, next we'll go to Michael Ayres. Go ahead, Mike.
Don, you have some coaches to hire. Where do you stand on that process, and can you shed any light on where you're poking around?
Well, I'm not going to shed any light because we're talking to multiple people, obviously. It's something that Rick and I are working together on. We talk every day about it. And, in time here, we'll come to a decision and get the right people that we feel for the right, they'll do the job for us and make our team even better.
Do you have a time frame on that, Don?
Not really. We're kind of watching everything that's going on around the hockey world, and we'll continue to evaluate and keep talk. We're talking to people on a daily basis, and so I'm not going to put any timetable on it. And I'm getting ready to go to the World Championships for a week or so, and so when I get back at some point, I'm sure we'll get to the point where we'll start making some hires.
We'll do a few more. We'll go to Ed Francis. Go ahead, Ed.
Don, thanks for doing this. There was, at the end of the season, a lot of complimenting back and forth between Rick Bowness and Coyle. How much of an impact do you think Bones coming back had on the extension that you were able to get done today?
Well, that'd be a great question. You can ask Charlie when he's on. I do think it played a role, though. When I met with the players, we had some excitement at the end of the season. And when I met with the players the next day after our last game, there wasn't one guy that said that Rick wasn't the guy for this job, and they were hoping he'd come back. So, and I know Charlie was part of that, but probably better to ask him that question. But I, no doubt, as much as he likes me, I think he's more concerned about who his coach is going to be.
Okay, we'll go back to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, Don, early indications in this summer, there's cap room in this league that we have not had for the last several years. Do you anticipate a more active trade market this summer? Not just swaps and dumps of liabilities, but actual hockey trades. Is that more open this summer? Do you see those coming?
Well, I know the talks I've had with the multiple teams that I've talked to is, if you're going to trade a top nine forward, you need another top nine forward back because you can't go replace them, because we all know the free agency is not the biggest list as it used to be. So you got to be careful if you're giving up a player, you got to make sure you got somebody who can fill that role. So to answer your question, I do think you'll see more hockey trades than we have seen in the past.